Hello everyone, it's FinnzaxTheMovie here. Today guys, ladies and gentlemen, this video is about Finnzax. Now, of course, you're probably wondering, who is Finnzax at this point? Well, Finnzax obviously has a family. As you can tell, we got the dad on the left side and the mom on the right side. And we got the cool castle in the background. I think that's the whole concept of where we're going here. But there's way more to this than you think. So I'm gonna hop right into Roblox Studio, and I'm gonna get you. Of course, she's actually has a family, just as simply as playing. Here are the parents. As Finnzax isn't here for some reason. Okay, so Finnzax is actually small during the time. Now, okay, so it kind of took place like this, and it was like similar to this castle you're seeing right now. Well, this is what the idea was. Like, it was like something similar to this. But anyways, eventually they had guards out here, which simply, well, it was a little bit more different than this. And it was battlefields, and there was like a war zone, and there was actually a little bit more out here as well. There's like, they would sell stuff. I give you an idea what I'm talking about. This is what it is. Literally, this is what it is. So during the time of Finnzax, we had army men. Well, no, we didn't. We had ancient people. I guess you would say knights. I'm not too sure what they would even look like, but they look more like they would be in ancient time. And I guess knights took place during that time, which is, I don't know what colors they actually had, what you would say for the knight. But they were like similar to where they had shields back in the day. They had a bit of armor. I would have. Here we are with one of the knight concepts. Now, what could I say? I'm just showing what this would look like. Of course, animations. I've never done an animation before. That's why I'm not doing that. But yeah, here they were. The knights would defend Finnzax, and they would be outside. And you know, they would just go out here, and this is where it all started. Okay, there were 3 knights, and there were actually people. There's business, but outside the castle. I guess you could say people, not specifically everything has to be selling in castles. Well, you have the knights as well as everything around here. You can get an early concept. Now, I guess you had a few people working in here. You did. You had workers, like, which. Well, you get the idea of what I'm talking about. Well, they weren't specific fancy Roblox players, but they were definitely somewhat like this. They had like an old style. They had this. Of course, they had like a similar style to this. And they were like this. In a way, they would have dress like girls would have, like it makes sense. If you know the old times, that's what they would wear. It was like it's hard to explain. But yeah, you would have casual Roblox people, and they were workers. Now, of course, as ancient times, Roblox players are still here. But Roblox players were slightly different back in the day, and we had a lot more workers than the back in the day. And it was like, yeah. It was like old clothes, like, you know? So I'm not too sure how that I would get this to work. Let me see. Okay. What can I actually say about Roblox? Now, because Roblox was a little different. They had different sort of like outdated outfits. They did. And again, I can't say there's anything wrong with this. But they were actually wearing. Oh, sorry, man. Okay, well, they did have dresses, and all I could say was they were a bit like the. I'm sorry, I need to stop that. But anyways, they were like this. I guess you could say they had outfits. They did like this. It was great. Now, of course, we're missing Finnzax. Now, he didn't have a mask at the time. He was actually really small. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Finnzax, our Finnzax crew. But yeah, he never had a face like this. And his face is completely gone. What? Anyways, you get the idea. I don't have Finnzax like laying around here, but if I did, this is what he would look like. But again, his hair's broken. It's weird how the characters do this. Especially, I mean, I already have Finnzax in here somewhere. Like, not thinking that I have him. Okay, so that's not. But I deleted him, so that's a little weird. Oh, I think he's up here. Oh no, that's. I'll let her start naming them eventually. Here they are. Finnzax is here. Zima Finnzax is here. It's the only one. Again, I can't edit, so I'm not going to animate this. So, as you can tell, Finnzax had hair. Now, he does not look like that. As you saw in the picture, he looks a little bit weird, to be honest. I guess you can add the hair in again, but it doesn't really do anything. As far as like hairs, I'll just go back where it was. Okay. As far as hairs, there need to be at a certain level. Okay. It would be like that. Now, as other hairs, they would just. I'm not too sure why it's all his hair is doing the same thing. I'm not too sure what we're supposed to do here, except the only hair that's following me is this one. Yes. Okay, well, his hair is kind of just doing whatever. I'm not too sure how I'm gonna fix this. Okay. Here we are. I'm trying to edit him and he just completely broke. Well, you got a concept right here now. Hold up. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So, as he breaks. See, but if I don't have a package, here it is. Okay, this one is not really a requirement. This was actually just something I added to it. Well, we won't need that anymore. This is all we need. Alright. You won't really see that. He's just a dot that will disappear. Here it is. Finnzax, he's actually the he obviously would be a kid by now, but I would have to shrink him completely. But the idea was he's actually part of the family, and it would be really nice to show you more stuff eventually. Roblox. So here we are. We got. He doesn't have his name right now, but I'll actually add that eventually. So hold on a second. Once I start doing this, now of course, he actually needs a name. I don't know what happened there. He didn't actually have a name. That was a little weird. Okay, so he should have his name now. So that was weird. Or was it Johnny? I think it was. I think it was Johnny or something, or. Because I think Johnny's actually. That's his name, Johnny. Okay. As you can see, this is what it was. This is their son grew up, but anyways, that actually didn't happen. The son was actually similar to this size. I'm actually not joking. So he was this, but he's right here. So again, if I click here and I go to scale, if I scale it, it'll be fine. Now of course I have to scale him. I think he's just gonna look dumb when I do this. See, I can't shrink him. It's like that. But yeah, this is what little Finnzax would look like. He looks kind of. That's the sun, obviously. So yeah, look at all the hair. It looks like broken. Okay, Finnzax was a bit shy. Like he had no cape though. Or would he? I mean, it makes no sense if he had a cape. But he didn't actually have a cape at the time. He could have a crown, unless he had a baby cape. Those are Finnzax. His eyes just look like that, I guess. That's fine. He looks kind of funny. It's not the best explaining what he looks like, but I'm trying. I wanted to do it in Roblox Studio because I don't know how to completely animate, which is fine, I guess. And I guess you gotta have a cape, but it would be really tiny. Like if I throw the cape in, I guess the cape can be really small because this looks really good. So this is Finnzax as a baby. Oh, little Finnzax. There we go. There's your cape. This is a storyboarder. So we cover that. It's because the other one's already open. It's still called Finnzax, of course, but here we are with our hero cape. Though it looks a little too big. Still on him. See, his cape would be too huge to do that. Okay, let's shrink his cape then. Actually, it was really small back in the day. The cape looks so big. Of course, his cape actually fits. So that's Finnzax when he was smaller, and then we got when he's older. So I guess that makes when he gets older. He was actually a baby at the time. After a while, okay, in the story, they would talk inside the building, but I'm not too sure how this works because if you go up the stairs, it takes you right up to up here. So maybe they could even take place up here. But anyways, they talked to Finnzax. No, it was in the building. I'd say it was like in here somewhere. Okay. And then you would go up here. Yeah, they would talk or somewhere over here. I'm not too sure which room. Or they would probably be in here or something. Oh no, it'd be where they could see it outside. So the other the castle's a little different than this one. But basically, they go out here, I guess you could say, because the building for them, there's a building and they could just see outside. So it's weird. This one doesn't look the same, but trust me, the building was like blocked off here. But again, I can't animate, so yeah. So there isn't really concept of what I'm talking about. Now, I decided to stick around and show you a little bit about this place. Okay. And again, let's go back with the nights. Finnzax would actually be out here, and there would be little shops. No, I'm not joking. Yeah, there would be actual like places, like marketplaces, like yeah, just like this. So it's good they told me, they showed me this. But yeah, it's like this. Of course, Roblox noobs were they a thing back in the day. So they had shops like this, and it made a lot of sense. Yes, this is exactly how it went. And I could even remember how this took place. So, okay, so there's two shops like this. They were a little similar, of course. Not everything changed. But yeah, it's when you were walking, you could see shops here. Maybe there were different Roblox people, but Roblox players were actually known back in the day. Now they were actually wearing like outfits like you just saw now. They were wearing those outfits. Yes, and it was crazy because if you got in here, yeah, there were little shops that you would see in Roblox, and yeah, this is way before Roblox. Like, it's crazy to say that this was around development. Like, this was okay, so Roblox didn't make it, but I'm saying, like, it makes sense that this took place around that time, because that's the story of when it took place. And, of course, you had Roblox players somewhat selling items. They'd sell stuff, just like, that makes sense. You know, it was like around that time, and there was like multiple people surrounding here. But after that, yeah, you would have sellers here. Now noobs, again, I'll go to something simply saying, so you have the night, but these people let's just say they did exist. I'm just gonna paste them out here in the shop. I'm not too sure what I change them to, but I'm gonna paste them right here. And what the heck? No, he's back where he started. Okay, that makes sense. Cause I don't. Okay, here we go. So here we are. Finnzax took place around this time, which is cool. I would love to see this as an animation. I don't know why, but Finnzax would be cool, really cool as a movie, because he'd be the beginning of Roblox, pretty much. I mean, because he took place during that time. So here we are, his shop. See, and that makes sense. Now he's sitting here, he's sitting there, but I don't think noobs were back in the day, so they were in development. Just say it like this. Now of course, noobs never really had existed. Now, of course, that just because they took place during that time doesn't really mean they actually existed. No, see, but this guy doesn't have a shirt or anything. Oh, so it's actually interesting. So Roblox noobs weren't actually really a thing. So where does this really take place? Because if Roblox noobs were not a thing back in the day, it's ancient times, which noobs never existed. Noobs began to slightly be knowable, but that's kind of, it took place in Roblox. Okay, so the picture I showed you, he simply just shows you here. It's literally what I was just talking about. Now battles were just getting tough, and Finnzax had to get some sort of like, I don't know, I can't actually move the characters, but I mean, it would be so cool to actually, I don't know what to do, honestly, but I think I'm going to move the Finnzax later down the road. I'll use him when he's like older. I can't roleplay every one of them. I mean, imagine me voicing them. I think that would just be not something I want to do. I mean, people would probably just copy what I said and just use it and just keep my voice in the video, but just completely just delete the voices I either did. They just copied them over. I mean, it's easy to overwrite my voice. But again, this guy right here, of course, not everyone looks the same. I know you probably did. I mean, people probably did. I mean, I don't really know. I imagine just the same. I can imagine like different faces. But they had a similar skin color. Now, of course, this guy has no skin color, and actually it looks like he's just wearing would different race be a thing in Roblox? And yes, believe it or not, there were actually different races in Roblox. Now, it wasn't yet told, but yes, Roblox, every other character had a different color race. There wasn't actually just one race at all. I mean, just imagine that whether it would be that would be really, no. You see, during the Roblox time, that looks nothing like the other arm. Yeah, so I mean, they would have probably tan skin, but they weren't actually noobs. I guess you could say they were kind of like the first kind of noob, I guess, but they were wearing like material stuff, but they weren't really like noobs. Again, yes, the torso was actually another color too. You can't really tell. So you guess you could say they were like the dark colors, like they had a bit of tan, I guess. Okay, now this is being ridiculous. But yeah, I guess I could. Not too sure what I'm gonna do here. But yeah, they had a similar. That hair, but they didn't have similar hair. I mean, there probably is kind of different kind of hairs in Roblox. No, I'm not too sure what kind of hairs they would have. Let's actually see. I can imagine this noob wearing this kind of hair. There you go. But yeah, so yeah, noobs weren't really a thing. I'm gonna change it a little bit to a light color. I'm not too sure what the skin color is. Cause it's not over there. Well, that's it. I mean, it would mix if it was like that, yeah. So, here we are. So yeah, basically in ancient times, Roblox players would just, they would come around at one point. Not sure bacon hair people existed, but I could imagine that they were bacon haired characters, but that, what does it have to do with Finnzax exactly anymore? I mean, it does. So, yes, there was a few different characters in the game. There was like, they weren't specifically called that. Maybe they had some other names like Mike, Nike. I mean, they had names. Let's be honest. And it was great at the time. Like, I think it would be like Mike would make sense. I'm not too sure. And then it makes sense because they had names, you know. I'm not too sure what their names would be. Like, I guess you'd be like Jasmine, maybe. Well, what do you think? I just know that they would still have hair like that, but I just don't think they would look that way. Like the ancient times, they didn't really have different clothes. I mean, let me tell you why. They all had to wear the same outfits. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this. I don't have to do the clothing. That doesn't work. Can't do that. See, back in the day, like they would either fight their life. I mean, yeah, it was hard for them because they had to do stuff like that. They literally had to do that. It's Roblox. I mean, come on. I'm serious though. We got Mike. Change his clothes to Control V. Oh. He has no clothes now. Well, his pants disappeared. Of course, bacon hair people, yes, they did exist. And this took place around that time. They had ancient clothes, but I don't know what he didn't have white skin. There just wasn't such thing. They had body colors, of course. Like, he probably had... They probably had some, like, collars. And then their torso. See? I mean, they had color. They had skin color. She had skin color too. But I feel like maybe they had different colors. Trust me, these are true stories. I mean, the Roblox obviously is about. Alright, let's talk about this. Now, of course, there were different Roblox characters. I'll show what I'm talking about. Now, of course, there were different color of race. Now that I remember, there were different players. Like, if I had players, they had different players. Now, keep in mind Roblox has took place during this time, and his name was Mr. Roblox, and yes, this is way before Brookhaven was a thing. I can tell you how much all these games never even existed. This story was way before those other games. Like, this game, the story took place before every other game. So, what does this have to do with what I'm talking about now? And of course, players actually, yes, they actually took place. And they were different races, of course, during that time. And they had names as well. Maybe a few players are just different. And let me tell you, so there was, you could say different, but they had like certain hairstyles. I don't know what the heck they would wear back in the day, but let me tell you. So, I guess you could say that this one had it too. Wait, hold on. Alright, so, with the whole story that's going on here with Roblox, yeah, it's about time I revealed the other one. I mean, it's time, we'll talk a lot more about Finnzax. Now, a lot of people had different colors. They were actually brown, they were dark, like they had a dark skin color. Yes, they were dark, because back in the day, different colors were a thing. Now, of course, I'm not saying they weren't, because that's not true. They had different colors. I'll tell you they did, because they just wore the same outfits. Of course, you have to understand, different colors did exist, because Roblox, well, that's not every race is the same. Okay? That would not make sense. So I was like, you know what? No. So unfortunately, guys and gentlemen, we're gonna paste it into him. Yes, and that should. Okay. There we go. So, of course, there were different people, but it wasn't called noobs. There were no noob characters. Maybe Fred, or it doesn't matter, like Mike, or Tom, or Tim, or Frank. Like, those are things that they would be called Frank. I don't know if that's how you spell Frank. But they all had names. It's not going to show up everybody, but there's just different people. I mean, I don't know what they look like exactly. I mean, there's just a lot of them. Maybe, yeah, there's just different people in Roblox. Now, of course, you could say this was the first bacon-haired person. I mean, there's hundreds of them, but they all look different. There's like different colors of race of them. So, like, they might even have the same hair. I don't really know. Roblox was weird, different back in the day. But, all I could say is that, they had different colors of clothes, actually, and they had dresses. I'm not too sure what dresses they could wear, like black? I guess you could say they wear black. No, seriously. Like, Roblox had a lot of different players back in Roblox, and it had different people, like, I don't know how to even describe their dresses. But yes, so she was wearing like a dress like this, to go to dresses. Okay, these were just pants. Well, okay. I'm trying to explain everything as much as I can. Oh, okay. Well, it just completely took the skirt. Well, what? Okay. Well, you know, how does that have a connection with what we just clicked? Okay. Well, yep. That's her hair. Yeah, they had different people, but all the Roblox players, they obviously had names, but I'm not doing 100 people names, okay? Obviously, I don't know them all. Even though Finnzax did know them, but why would I get into all that? You see? No. Well, I think that's why, because we have these, but even though... What? See, it's really going to confuse me because this is all attached to one thing, but if I delete these, notice how they all have, if I delete the shirt too, okay, that's fine, but it's actually called model. Now, I don't know how I dragged that into this, but there's actually a model right there. She actually had a different skin color too. They were actually... Well, yeah, she was right there. So, you see, they had dresses, of course, but these are actual Roblox characters in Roblox, and they took place. There was knights fighting. It was really cool. And of course, we had different players in this really cool story. And I think more than likely, well, who's his enemy? Well, I want to get into that whole explanation exactly. There's called jealousy, which I hope you understand what I'm talking about. When it comes to Roblox, there's always some sort of like jealousy players, and it was just so confusing. But yet again, actually there were. So it was like knights, but they weren't really, they were like completely different. Now there were knights, believe me or not. There was ancient time, knights were basically taking place during that time too, so keep in mind we had this other kind of player. I don't know what he looks like. I have to, we'll try to make him just for fun, so we can get a concept of what players we should add in here. He was kind of like he was like the same time that took place, but in Roblox. And honestly, I'm trying to explain everything I can in this video, and it's taking me quite a long time. I don't want to make a whole documentary of just showing you everything, but the one we were fighting, which is again, is somebody that I don't remember. I can't explain how he looks like, so I guess we can just recreate him. Now, again, keep in mind, he was like a knight. He's a little different though. He had better equipment. But keep in mind, he was a knight as well, but he wanted to be a king. He's not a king, okay? He's a knight. Far beyond strong. Okay, he was a knight, but he doesn't. I guess you could say he was like a little bit more advanced with his equipment. Now, of course, they had shields. There were actual shield knights too. Not too sure if that makes sense, but there were. He had his own army, but they actually, well, they would attack. Some would look like they were on our side, and it was just different. But he was actually a little bit more advanced. He had shields, and he had everything that you could even imagine. Now, if I go to this one, these are all parts. But let's go to the last part, where it's a part as well. But how does that make sense? Wait, that's... Okay, where does the shield come in at this point? I don't get this. Okay, so it's the last thing that shows up in this. He also had he had armies as well. I can't tell you how much he has, but yeah, he had freaking. I mean, he did. He had armies, and They were on his side. And now you had 100 of these guys. No. As again, we had jealousy. So they went in the castle, and I'm probably going to recreate this. I'm not going to do a whole hour of it, but the concept of the idea was... Again, I just want people to... I want everyone to hear me out. What I'm talking about. Hopefully my actual... my audio works. Right. Okay. Again. Okay, so I just want to simply just explain it all to you. But there were actual different nights, and you had, I guess you could say they were battling. They had helmets. What the heck? So all every single one of them, they had helmets. I don't remember now that being a thing. Okay, so they look like they would be armies, but they actually are. Okay. Now I wanted to take over during this time, so this is kind of what I want to explain. But there were actual characters like this during this time in Roblox. Now there were actual nights. Keep in mind there were 100 of different nights on Roblox because they wanted to go to war. There's no way I can do 100 of these guys, ladies and gentlemen. But here we are. Okay, it's gonna take me a while to figure this all out, but yeah, this is what we would have. They didn't really have health back in the day. You don't actually see that in here. After he wanted to, he actually ends up losing. So I'm just showing you everything in the game. So as far as battles, and yeah, so then you had the billions of nights, but I'm not gonna go through them all. I'll probably just copy and paste them in. Cause like, why not? But here we are. I'll rotate him instead. And yes, this night was actually advanced, as you see with this one. They even gave him a shield as well. I can't find the shield thing, so I'm sort of starting to think about this, but yeah. Yeah, so it's gonna give you the house system, but again, there's no health, but I mean, don't worry about that. Okay, so the shield thing, let's just find him a shield as well. Of course, they had shields, but they didn't have like realistic. They had shields like this. I don't know how you even get shield like that, but alright. Well, I guess you could say he also had a shield, because he did. He had a shield, like. I would say he had a shield, because back in the day, that wouldn't make any sense if they never had shields. I mean, he had a shield, but he also had attachments to it. That doesn't look good. Well, you get the concept of what I'm trying to do here. You had different kind of knights. They would battle. It wasn't really about battling, because you learned Finnzax learned a lot of stuff in the story, but it just makes a lot of sense. And that's what they would equipped. But see how this makes sense, and then you have. But things were getting tough for Finnzax, obviously, but that's why I think it makes sense. Now, he was actually not some sort of ordinary knight. They call him either the Dark Knight or the Obvious Knight or something. Not sure what they would actually call him. It would be like Darkness or something. Darkness Knight. I don't know. And obviously, he's completely different. He was. Yeah, he completely works differently. But, after battling for so long, and of course he had different armor. It was dark. Like his armor was actually black, if I'm not mistaken. Like he actually works completely different. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I don't have any textures to try it on, but yeah. So pretty much, he would have a darker, pretty much black, if I'm not mistaken. He had like a black. So we'll see where this goes for me. Honestly, the actual. Of course, it was actually dark for him. That's kind of what made him who he is now. Yeah. So they give him, but he's actually stronger towards killing battles. But they all had a color similar to him. You'd say that they were more darker because they did. Yeah, he's different. I don't know how to do this because you didn't get a good look at him back in the day. But everyone who fought it with him, mask underneath them. I think that makes sense. But yeah, the parts obviously. These are the knights, but they would. Well, I guess you could. They would. I don't know if gloves make sense, but it makes sense because in the ancient times, I guess you could make gloves somehow with material stuff. So like that would make a lot of sense. And that's what I'm kind of getting to because I'm like I want to explain it all, but it's hard to. But yet again, they didn't. Yeah, they would just. To tell they were on his side, they would like wear gloves. Yeah, they would just wear gloves. So you won't really get to see who they were. So like that was a mask, but they had a thing underneath where they could still see, obviously. But more than likely, they would hide their identity. I'm trying to like simply tell you how it went because it is the old times. It makes perfect sense why people would wear masks, but they would make material masks underneath, but they could still see. But it would make no sense. I guess that wouldn't really make any sense if he couldn't see. That would. Oh no, I don't know what the heck I just I just completed that. Oh, the master idea just come. Alright, well, let's just get him again, but he would wear... Okay, so, it's the same night. Well, anyways, he's a knight. Well, the knights that work for him. Okay. And as they work on his side, and knights would be behind him, which is crazy to say. Now, I did the best I could to make this actually possible. Yeah, so instead, well, within this one, well, basically what would actually happen is he would wear black. Yes, he would. Seriously, he actually would wear black. And but enough of this, because I feel like we're going to take too much time actually talking about this topic. And what we need to talk about. Really, this is mostly about Finnzax. It's not about anything really specific. But you get an idea of who this is, of who he is as well. So instead of just looking at the same characters over and over again, so for him, he actually wears like a dark knight armor. That's what he wears. And then he would actually talk to Finnzax with like about his family and stuff. I guess it would make sense. Okay, back to Finnzax. Alright. They were talking in a room, which I already showed you with room. I completely got out the room. One is, I was just saying what room they were talking. It was just like a bedroom. I think that's what I was talking about. Like, yeah, let's go back to those. Let's go to the bedrooms for a second. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, the rooms are confusing my brain. Okay, this is what you would do down here, but that's not a room. I don't want to make this longer than it should be, because I feel like this is too long. It's going to take too long of a video. Okay, let's start back where we were. Okay, so they're talking here, I guess, because in the original they would just talk outside, which was on top, which I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is where they would talk. There'd be rooms right here. But yeah, they would look down here. Finnzax would simply explain about his life, about his whole life story, and that's kind of what I want to explain. So here we are with Finnzax. And then this is when he was little, something similar. It was like kind of like this anyway. I guess that makes sense. The lake didn't really exist. His real outfit was actually, it never said Finnzax YT on it, but his original was like this. Like they had obviously they would wear old fashioned outfits instead of Finnzax YT. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the original had outfits like this. Everyone wore the same thing. I'm not even joking. Either he was a knight at the time, it makes sense, but most likely they would show up, and Finnzax actually wear something like this. But later down the road, he would wear something like his father's thing, because it always carried on. And for example, when Finnzax got older, he would wear this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. He would literally wear his father's clothes when he got older. Like he would wear similar stuff like this. He would wear a shirt like this. Yeah, he would actually, his leg was never broken, but I'm just giving you like an early concept of what I'm talking about. So this is what he looked like, and that's what he looked like when he was little. He had clothes like this. No joke. So I guess you can borrow the clothing, copy the code, but anyways, Finnzax YT actually wear something like this, and then he would have a big crown on top of his head. He would wear his father's crown. Then what else was, I know it's gonna take forever to explain everything. This turns out to be like what an hour video, but this is what I'm trying to explain. It's kind of hard to just explain everything in one video, but again, Finnzax would actually he would never have a cape when he was a baby. Of course, that would not make sense, but I guess his father actually gave it to him, or his mom, one of those. And eventually, Finnzax I can't really imagine moving all these characters. I mean, it's gonna take forever. So first things first, someone would just roleplay the whole thing for me. It'd be funny. But here we are. What? His pants just. Oh wow, that's great. Okay. Wow, his Finnzax pants were gone. That never actually happened. But yeah, this is. It really is his life story. No, his life was never like that. But let's talk about it. Let's do the scenery. Now I'm not able to talk for them, but I definitely want to have some of the similarity. Starting with the parents. Now if I move the parents up here, it's kind of I want to take a place up here. Now in the original, there's like the room is a little bit smaller, of course. Let's do that scenery real quick. Let's bring the mom up here. I don't remember either coffee in her hands, but coffee. Like I think coffee was a thing. I mean beer's probably no, but it's not. It's Roblox. No, so Roblox doesn't do that. Like the story never takes place like that. I would say coffee and tea would make more sense. But yeah. The real world actually works differently. This world works different as well, but there was never anything like that. There's coffee in this world. There, of course, there's tea. Like, that makes sense. So we're doing like that. And then we get Finnzax, which actually get up here, and we bring up here as well. Now, of course, little Finnzax trying to live his life. And okay, let's talk about this. And this is when Finnzax got older, so we'll probably get into that later. But anyways, the knights would show up, and there'd be like the knight I just showed you. He'd be barging in. There'd be a war with the knights that I just showed you. And basically, they would be fighting. And during that time, of course, Finnzax was actually small. And he was like a baby size. And basically, I remember literally everything. I don't want to roleplay it. Imagine me roleplaying the whole story without you know what's going on. But Finnzax would basically say something similar to this, which I'll explain in a few minutes. But Finnzax would simply say, "What is going on? I do not understand this." Of course, I'm not really talking like a kid, so that's why it's hard for me to do this. But basically, I'm going to talk for Finnzax. Obviously, I know you're like, I know someone's going to do an edit of this, and that's totally fine with me. I'm definitely down for an edit for this. But I can't move the characters and do all the time. I mean, I bet somebody could just do it for me, and they're like, "Yo, let's do it." I'm definitely going to explain as much as I can. So again, that's what he would say, but I'm not good at this. I'm not gonna animate him and then talk for him. That's just gonna take too long. But here it is. It's Finnzax concept story. Here we go. Here's the story. So here's Finnzax's story now. Honestly, it's just gonna be brilliant. But now we should stop saying that over and over again. But yeah, here's Finnzax's actual story, how it takes place. I can't have to move these characters, but anyways, it's like I can't. Well, you just okay. I'm gonna turn my voice real quick because I have to talk to Finnzax, of course. And then someone could just literally copy what I said and then just make it an animation. I want to be a king just like you. I don't know if I can actually do it. I mean, I feel like I'd fail, and I feel like I actually won't be able to actually do it, which is I don't know if I can actually do this. I just feel like it's not gonna work as planned. And what if I what if I can actually Uh, what if I actually can do this? Alright, son. Alright, well, I don't even know what I should even give him. Alright, son. Let me tell you. Let me tell you advice, son. I know it's gonna be hard. Sometimes, son, even if these things happen, I just want you to know that if anything happens to me and your mom, I just want you to know that I need you to rule the castle, obviously, and that has to happen. And I can't imagine my son lose my son at all to this world, and we need you, of course. Eventually, you understand, son, that life could definitely be hard for you, and I know that's not going to be easy for you, but I just want you to know that it's going to be easy for you, son, because anything could happen. But the castle would be yours, and I feel like it's not something that could I imagine. But obviously, it could take time, and I want you to know, son, no matter what happens, me and mom, we love you, and you gotta take care of this castle, and I feel like if you do, it'd be better for you. And I just think that makes sense. It makes sense, but seriously, just know that whatever happens, no matter what happens, it's still gonna be your father. Your father makes a good point. Sometimes life can be really hard, son. But guess what? We still obviously we love you. Your father's right, and we don't really want nothing to happen to you. And if anything ever happens, son, just know that we're here for you. After a few hours, the knights, they would show up. Alright, here's how it's gonna go, everyone. Let me tell you. We can't let him win, okay? That's not actually what it is. Hold on. Okay, I got this plan. Finnzax is the king, right? Eventually. But we gotta stop this eventually. So we gotta put an end to all this. After a while, things are different. Yeah. Follow. Alright, everyone. Let's go this way. Five men. We have to take out Finnzax's family. You sure it's gonna work? It's gonna work, trust me. Don't you think I know it's gonna work? It's gonna work. Alright, here we go. We made it this far. Okay. Alright. We gotta end this war, no matter what happens. I'm not going to let you win, no matter what happens. I got this. You should have brought that, buddy. You should have thought it out earlier. Alright, let's do this. We might mess up a few times, but it's okay. Seriously. Is that all of them? Yeah! You take care of them. I got this. How's this? I'm here. Get him! Yeah. You know what to do, everyone. Oh, son, looks like we're under attack. If I die, son, just know that I did everything. I did everything to protect you. I did everything to protect you. It's hard. And no matter what happens, son. I know what's best for you. I'm coming. Open this door. They're somewhere. I have to find them. I got this. Where could they possibly be hiding? Here we are. They're here. I know they are. I'm not gonna rest until I destroy them. They think they have the chance. It's too late. It's time to turn around now. And this is where it all ends. As you can see, how it really happened was they died, and I basically, after a while, the family was gone. Finnzax got older. Life was different for him. Sadly, I couldn't animate it. Hopefully, you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe and